the focus ring. The most important element of lens adjustment is the focus ring. It allows focusing on a selected subject. The sharpness can be set by estimating the distance from the camera to the subject in meters or in feet. These values are indicated on the ring. You can also set it by observing the frame in the camera's viewfinder. The most accurate focusing method is to use the live view mode and to activate the electronic magnifier. One of the positions, infinity, is especially marked by a characteristic click stop. Most of the landscapes or night shots of the sky can be made in this ring position. Thanks to the click stop, focusing at infinity is fast, easy and accurate. On the Blackstone version, the markings are laser engraved and covered with UV reactive paint, which means that they reflect ultraviolet light. A special flashlight that emits this kind of light allows the use of the scale at night without the dazzling effects. The focus lock ring. While shooting under similar conditions, such as landscapes, you can lock the focus ring at a desired position to prevent accidental movement. This will enable you to enjoy the correct sharpness of all your photos without checking the focus ring position every time. Depth of field. Now look at the depth of field. Note that when you set the focus, the image becomes sharper. The value read on the aperture scale will determine how many of these images will look sharp. Let's take a look at some examples. Set the focus ring at a distance of 1 meter. Set the aperture equal to f8 and take a photograph. As you can see, the focus covers your subject at distances ranging more or less from 80 centimeters to 130 centimeters. This value sets the scale ranges. Now take the same photo, but with the aperture set on f16. Now the focus ranges from 65 centimeters to almost 3 meters, as seen in the image and the depth of field. If you want to blur the background further, adjust the aperture to its highest setting. However, there are no depth of field indicators on the scale for such an aperture because they don't fit. Hyperfocal scale. During any shooting, there are often situations when the focus should have as many distance settings as possible, including infinity. This happens primarily in travel or reporting photography. Look at the hyperfocal scale. There are positions marked as 8, 11 and 16. If you set one of these positions at the marker's height and choose the aperture at that set value, you can be certain that the infinity setting and some of the closer distances will maintain the sharpness. The distance of the first sharpness setting depends on the specific lens and is given in the manual.